out of Elwood City was gracious enough to donate a park bench, a marble park bench that sits between the Little League and the Pony League field at West Mayfield near the concession stand.
Riggio carries on the concepts that his father taught him about serving and helping others in his roles as the head coach of the Blackhawk girls softball team and as manager of the Beaver Falls Municipal Authority. The 5th annual Frank Riggio Memorial Golf Outing to raise money for the scholarships will take place tomorrow at the Blackhawk Golf Course in Chippewa. For more information, you can email Jim at riggio@bfwater.net.
Here's the Beaver County forecast on 95.7 and 99.3 FM, along with 1230 WBVP, 1460 WMBA, and streaming at beavercountyradio.com.
Sunny skies today with a high of 87 degrees. Then overnight tonight, mostly clear with a low down to 65. For your Friday, a slight chance of showers in the morning and a chance of showers and thunderstorms throughout the afternoon with a high of 90. Saturday, showers are likely to start today. Also, possibly an afternoon thunderstorm. High is going to be 85 degrees. Sunday is going to be a beautiful day, mostly sunny, high up to 85. And for your 4th of July celebrations, sunny skies, high of 88 degrees. That is a look at the news for now. I'm Frank Sparks, Beaver County Radio News, 95.7 and 99.3 FM, presented by St. Barnabas, 1230 WBVP, 1460 WMBA, and beavercountyradio.com.
Your community, your radio stations, originating from the St. Barnabas Control Studio in Beaver County, 1230 WBVP Beaver Falls and 1460 WMBA Ambridge.
1230 WBVP, 1460 WMBA. 99.3 FM presented by St. Barnabas, 95.7 FM live streaming at beavercountyradio.com. You can check it out with the free Beaver County Radio app. Right now we're live streaming on Facebook because David is here, District Attorney David Lozier. We want to make sure everybody's got every possible venue available to them to hear what you got to say. How you doing?
Doing well, sir. Thanks for asking, Eddie.
Good to see you. First off, thank you. Today's your day off, and you came in here to do this.
You asked me to come, so I came.
Now, okay, if I get into a little bit of a scrap with the law, that same generosity won't be applied, will it?
No, we have to do justice in the individual case.
Okay, such a DA response. No, if you're on the tower screaming obscenities, don't call me. You're wound up about something. We were talking briefly off the air, and I was really glad to see that you were kind of wound up about it because I feel like it's a pressing issue on two sides. Right now, Beaver County is sitting on a crap ton of money to help the opiate issues and addictions, and we've talked many times about the drop-off boxes, and you've shared the numbers, and they're horrific.
Right. What's
the hang-up? How much money is sitting there, and what do you want to do with it, and how do we do that?
Back several years ago, the Beaver County Commissioners and I think all the other counties essentially joined into a lawsuit against the Sackler family and the manufacturers of OxyContin.
Right.
The allegations in those lawsuits were that they put bad science in front of the FDA, got approval for it, and they convinced everybody in the world that OxyContin was not addictive.
By bad science, I'm going to rephrase that term. Lied. I'll do it. You don't have to do it. I'll do it. Watch the movie Dope Sick with Michael Keaton.
That's exactly.
Lied.
They knew what was happening. They used a very small study to justify it,
mm-hmm.
and they never did repeat studies. And all of medicine knew what was happening from the mid-'90s until the opioid crisis really hit in the, say, 2015, 2016. We had thousands and thousands of Americans who became addicted to illegal drugs.
Right.
Because they'd first become addicted to the opioids that were overprescribed.
That were prescribed, in some cases, literally thousands per resident. There were towns in West Virginia the numbers didn't even look real.
That was the case in Southwest Pennsylvania, Southeast Ohio, and all of West Virginia.
Right.
We had a very high union contract rate. We had a very high workers' compensation, work-related injury rate.
Mm-hmm.
So we ended up we had a very high level sports injury rate. That's the nature of our community. So the result was that we ended up with just way too many issues with people being on the medications for too long. Medicare and Medicaid got involved, where they were allowing doctors and hospitals to prescribe OxyContin, Percocets, all those, but in very large quantities. So if you had a tooth removed, you could get a month's worth of OxyContin.
Yeah.
And so you end up with massive quantities. And because
What was the benefit of Medicare and Medicaid getting involved? Just that was more that they could bill?
they could control money by controlling the quantity. They
Okay.
they
That seems
discourage-
that seems counterintuitive that if you're Medicare and Medicaid, you're helping someone further down the road of addiction.
That's right. Yes, but what they were doing was they would give 1 month's supplies. You're not paying for doctor's visits to approve the refill, certain number of refills.
Okay.
And they also convinced Medicare, Medicaid to make pain at the time of discharge a primary measure of treatment success. So you had the smiley faces when you were in the hospital, and you're supposed to be smiling when you walked out the door.
Well, yeah, because you're high as a bird.
Yes, so that was what they did. They got everybody high on OxyContin. So the result was you had thousands of Americans on OxyContin for 4, 5, 6 months. They became addicted through a legal prescription. And eventually a lot of those people ended up purchasing illegal medications to maintain the addiction.
Right.
And then when fentanyl came in and replaced heroin on the streets, they started dying.
I just saw a story. Somebody got busted with enough fentanyl, one person, to kill 10 or 12 million people.
Yes, and it doesn't take much.
Right.
Yeah. So we have, again, our death rate in Beaver County went from the single digits in the 90s to about 36 a year in, say, 2010, 2015. Then fentanyl comes in. We went up to 102 deaths per year. And that was all due to fentanyl. The Mexican cartels replaced heroin with cheaper fentanyl.
Right.
But the whole issue was created by the Sackler family and the producers of OxyContin. So the lawsuit was settled as brought by all the Pennsylvania municipalities.
Mm-hmm.
The Attorney General jumped in to kind of coordinate the settlement. This is Josh Shapiro jumped in to coordinate the settlement.
Mm-hmm.
He essentially took over the settlement negotiations. So he ended up coming up with a settlement without much input from all the other parties. And they divided up the percentages. Philadelphia's getting far more than it deserves based on the settlement. It's all politics.
Mm-hmm.
But the bottom line is Beaver County is getting between $7 and $8 million in the current settlement structure. But based on the settlement, there are very few things we can use the money for. So you can buy naloxone. We have Narcan right now that we can peddle. You can use it for diversion programs, treatment programs, school education programs.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way that we can spend that kind of money on Narcan and education programs. We have wonderful programs now. What the DAs are upset about is law enforcement spent incredible resources fighting the opioid epidemic. The cost of police departments, the cost of police, the interventions that we had to put in place cost us millions of dollars.
Mm-hmm.
And none of the money can be used for any law enforcement initiative. So we have two things going on. We have several DAs suing to intervene in this settlement to try to redo the ways the money can be distributed and used. And also about a half dozen of us, out of the 67 DAs in Pennsylvania, about a half dozen of us are filing our own lawsuits to try to resolve this issue so that we can use the money for law enforcement purposes.
What would the law enforcement purposes money be used for? More of the same programs that you've already had to put in place?
Well,
not on your own dime, but without the benefit of this particular money.
Well, modern policing takes lots of money. We could do body-worn cameras.
Mm-hmm.
We could do better training for police officers. We could do regionalization of police officers. We could do better policies and procedures so that when police are out there making an arrest, you have up-to-date policies and procedures, up-to-date training, and all that impacts the way you interface with the public. Plus better drug interdiction, equipment for drug interdiction.
What timeline does the new lawsuits put on the distribution of the money?
I think this money, as it's structured now, is probably going to start being distributed, I think, by the end of this year.
Okay.
We're hoping to intervene. There are arguments in front of the Commonwealth Court, I believe, next week with the DA's interventions to try to disrupt this program, to restructure the way the money is being distributed.
Will the money, as it sits now, could it be used for rehab facilities?
Oh, absolutely.
It can be used for that.
Yes, Beaver County receives a lot of money from the federal government right now, and we have a prescription drug abuse coalition with about 40 agencies. We meet every month. We just met Tuesday morning at 8:00 here in Beaver Falls, and we coordinate all the treatment facilities, both the inpatient, the outpatient, the Narcan distribution, the diversion programs, the treatment in the jail. We have wonderful programs in the county. The Drug Abuse Coalition, thanks to Kate Lowry and Gerard Mike of the Behavioral Health, we have created many new beds in the county for detox and for treatment. We're working with Gateway to begin.
Well, that's going in the opposite direction of most of society because beds are disappearing.
Well, yes. We have used the money wisely to create new beds for both adults and juvenile, inpatient and outpatient. We're making good progress on that. And again, Narcan. I think because of all these efforts, both of law enforcement, Narcan, and the coordination of treatment, we have held the overdoses steady, about 700 overdoses per year, about 62 deaths per year for the last 3 years. We've avoided the spike that most other counties have experienced.
Has there been any kind of decrease since the Sackler lawsuit and all of that went through? Has the Sackler lawsuit served as a cautionary tale for pill farms, basically?
I don't think so. What did work was back in August of 2017, a law went into effect in Pennsylvania, which required any physician writing one of these prescriptions to enter it into a database, to go in to say, okay, Eddie, you want me to give you 30 OxyContin for back pain. Before he can write that prescription, he's got to go in the state database to see, oh, you already received 10 OxyContin from your dentist. You already received 45 last month from the ER when you went in with a concussion.
45? Been a hell of a concussion.
You bet.
If it's that good a concussion, I don't need any pain pills.
Yeah, so we have seen a drop-off in the writing of these prescriptions, which I think has helped dramatically.
Okay. What would you change? I'm giving you carte blanche.
Yeah.
It's magic. One thing with the opioid conversation, what would you change? What would you take all of the legislative ears and say, here's what you need to do?
I would do two things. I would change the criminal sentence guidelines so that when I have somebody coming in with a long-term addiction to heroin, I could sentence them to a longer period of time so they can get treatment for their addiction.
So you wouldn't want them locked up less. You'd want them locked up more, so get them pointed in the right direction.
In a way that they can get treatment.
Okay.
Right now, many
court-ordered rehab.
Well, you can't order rehab. You can order them into jail.
Right.
For example, right now, most possession cases are either by probation or, say, 3 months. You need 6 to 12 months for treatment. And after somebody has been through this about 3 or 4 times, even they know that they need treatment.
Right.
So give us the chance to put someone in the jail for 6 to 12 months, get them clean, get them detox, get them good treatment in the jail. But right now, that is an above-range sentence that makes it difficult for judges to impose. The other thing I would do is allow more of this money to be used for police interventions and police initiatives. Because
they are, they're the first line of dealing with it or what happens after it, aren't they?
That's right.
Is the law written, or could it be written to give judges the option of saying, okay, I'm going to give you 6 months, but I'm going to let you serve it in a rehab as part of your probation. Now, if you mess up, then you go to jail. Is that an option?
We do that now.
Okay.
A lot of our diversion programs allow us to say you have to serve 6 to 12 months in the Beaver County Jail, but we will give you time credit for outpatient or time credit for inpatient treatment. We do that all the time.
You're doing 6 months. It's your choice where you're doing it.
Yes,
Okay.
That's the solution, but we need that longer period to make that happen.
Do people buy into that when given that option?
Yes.
Do they?
Yeah, the problem
Okay.
is some of the judges don't because they feel the pressure because they'd be sentencing above the normal range in the code.
What pressure would come from sentencing above? I could see judges getting pressure sentencing below.
What they do is they have a scorecard that the state keeps.
What is it, like a judge?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, every judge is evaluated based on are they within the standard sentence guidelines? Are they below? They have to say why. Are they above? They have to say why. And it's just in the world of judges, they're deterred.
What point does that serve? Judges are elected, right?
Yes, they are. Now, there have been judges who were probably extreme,
Right.
but that's why we have sentence ranges. So a judge can go up to the statutory max for misdemeanor. Some misdemeanors have a statutory max of, say, 2 years. But the recommended ranges are usually 6 months, 12 months max.
Who sets the recommended ranges? That seems like a very broad brush to apply in a lot of places where it should be detail-oriented brush.
Yes, there's a Pennsylvania Sentence Commission, which is right now staffed by a bunch of academics, liberal academics, and right now they're actually trying to reduce all the sentence ranges so everybody gets out. This is part of the modern criminal justice reform.
Right.
They're reducing the recommended sentence for everything that's nonviolent to the point where you could end up with almost no punishment, even for some sexual crimes. Some DUIs are dramatically reducing the flexibility that we and the judges have. The new recommendations by this sentencing commission have not yet been approved, but they're going to make matters worse.
They're going to make matters worse. How do you get a gig on that commission? Is that like the Turnpike, where once you get it, you're there forever? Why aren't DAs on that commission? Why is it all academics? DAs and cops and judges should be a part of the conversation. You live with those numbers every day.
There are about 20 people on the commission. I think there's one DA from out east. Most of them are academics, which have never worked in the criminal justice system. They just write term papers.
Well, no, you pay for more later and call it a thesis, but it's the same thing. What should I have asked you today that I didn't? We're almost out of time. Now, you will come back because I got a ton more questions.
Yeah, we're going to come back. Hopefully, I'm going to come back next week. We have some great issues arranged for the month of July, where we're meeting with law enforcement and schools to help make sure that Beaver County is as prepared as it can be in case of there were a tragic shooting event in or near one of our schools.
School safety, school armament security is
how to implement SROs, school resource officers in schools. How to improve the counseling and the identification of kids who may be at risk. Ways for kids to advise teachers and police that there's a kid with a problem. School security measures, how to harden the building and delay the entry.
Right.
Better coordination between police and the schools. We're working on all those initiatives.
So we'll talk about that next week.
Yeah.
You came in on your day off to do this. Thank you.
I did.
All right. Well,
Thank you, sir.
I'm going to vote for you just for showing up and giving me a guest for a half. David Lozier is the Beaver County District Attorney, and he'll be back next week. He'll still be the district attorney, so I'll just leave that screen up on Facebook. No problem.
The buying frenzy continues this month at Falcone's Moon Township Ford. A special inventory acquisition fund has been set up, and Moon Township Ford wants to buy the car you're driving right now. This limited time opportunity is something you can't pass up. Bring your vehicle to Falcone's Moon Township Ford today for quick cash. Don't worry, Moon Township will help arrange transportation to get you back home, and that might mean putting your cash toward any one of around 70 units in stock. Take the short drive to University Boulevard in Moon Township, or click moontownship4.net for more information about the car buying frenzy going on right now. Even if you still have payments left to make on your current ride, who cares? Bring it on in anyway. Moon Township Ford will make both go away and potentially put cash in your pocket. Don't miss the buying frenzy happening now at Falcone's Moon Township Ford.
Falcone's Moon Township Ford, where friends send friends.
Computers and internet searches can be very helpful for discovering information, but not always when it comes to researching medical conditions and finding help. Dale Reckless from MRS Physical Therapy recently discussed this topic in a radio interview.
A lot of patients come in and they say, well, I Googled this and it didn't really help. Well, I understand, we Google things, we want to get information, but Google's not going to assess you personally. Google's going to give you an overall possibility to what could be going on with you, but you really need the eyes of the professional and the hands-on, the professional like what we have at MRS Physical Therapy to steer you in the right direction for what exercises should help you out. And then you're going to be getting the hands-on skills that we provide to help work on your soft tissue, to help relax the muscles, to help make it feel better.
If you need physical therapy for any reason, choose the place that your friends and neighbors do. MRS Physical Therapy in Bridgewater and Cranberry Physical Therapy in Cranberry. Visit mrsphysicaltherapy.com.
When we walk, when we reach, when we play, we're moving through life. Lately, we haven't been moving enough. An estimated 80% of Americans aren't getting their recommended daily physical activity. This is a health crisis, and the solution is in our hands and our feet. It's on our shoulders. It's on our backs. It's in our souls. It's time to move and keep moving, America. Wherever you are, however you can. Movement reduces your risk of diabetes, heart disease, and cancer. It improves your brain function, pain management, and immune system. And when you need help, physical therapists and physical therapist assistants are by your side, increasing your strength and mobility and improving your quality of life through prescribed exercise and teamwork. Because we are meant to climb, to dance, to soar, to thrive. Choose to move. Choose physical therapy. Visit ChoosePT.com.
I'm a veteran. We hit a mine in Vietnam. When I came home, I didn't know where to turn.
As America's veterans face challenges, DAV is there.
My victory's been never giving up hope. My wife is always there to remind me we have a life to live.
DAV provides a lifetime of support, helping veterans of every generation get the benefits they've earned.
I am a veteran, but after I got out, I spent 2 years alone and homeless.
Every year, DAV helps more than 1 million veterans so they can reach victories great and small.
My victory was finding the support to get back on my feet. Now I'm getting things right with my family.
I finally admitted, with my PTSD, I wasn't doing well.
But there's more to be done and more victories to be won.
Now I wish I'd found DAV sooner. I am a veteran. My victory is just enjoying each day.
Help support more victories for veterans. Go to DAV.org.
The ballpark is coming into your living room or the dashboard of your car. That's because Pirates Baseball is on Beaver County Radio. Set the dial to WBVP WMBA 99.3 FM or 95.7 FM, and then turn the volume up to hear the most beautiful sound in the world. Pirates Baseball is sure to be a hit this year, and it's presented locally by the Beaver Falls Municipal Authority, Express Employment Professionals, Dr. C. Timothy Lipp, Falcone's Moon Township Ford, Keystone Wellness Program, and St. Barnabas, among others, right here on Beaver County Radio.
As in all human conflict, adults fight and children suffer. Today, 7.5 million children in Ukraine need to find water and shelter. They need safety and school. They need a place to sleep and comfort in the dark. Show them the world cares. Support UNICEF. On the ground in Ukraine, we won't stop until every child is safe. UNICEFUSA.org/Ukraine crisis.
Want to thank David. Want to thank Rick. David Lozier, the DA for Beaver County, was just my guest. He's going to be back next week. Yeah, there's more to talk about. He came in on his day off. I want to thank Rick Maddock, Beaver Valley Auto Mall. They were my guests for that whole hour. And here's what they did. They made that hour so much better than anything that I could have done. Next half hour, same thing. Best of Beaver County with Mike Romine now.
You're listening to 95.7 FM, 99.3 FM, presented by St. Barnabas, in addition to 1230 WBVP Beaver Falls and 1460 WMBA Ambridge. Welcome to the Best of Beaver County, presented by St. Barnabas. a weekly segment dedicated to putting the focus on the amazing things and the amazing people behind them in Beaver County. The Best of Beaver County is sponsored by and content is provided by St. Barnabas. The show airs every Thursday from 11 to 11:30 on WBVP, WMBA, 99.3 FM, and Facebook Live. Now, with no further ado, let's welcome host Mike Romide to introduce today's program.
Good morning and welcome to the Best of Beaver County on the St. Barnabas Radio Network. Since the 1900s, St. Barnabas has been caring for people in southwest Pennsylvania. Today in Allegheny, Beaver, and Butler counties, we offer a full continuum of care for our residents and patients. This includes luxurious retirement living, personalized living assistance, and hands-on skilled care in our nursing center. Additionally, the St. Barnabas Medical Center offers the following health services to the community and our residents: a full dentistry, home health and home care, hospice care, and palliative care. St. Barnabas Health System continues to be focused on the needs of our community and our residents now and in the future. Building upon its heritage, St. Barnabas continues to reach out to those in need. St. Barnabas lives out its mission through individual and institutional services, which help the health, education, and social needs of others. Men and women are invited to join St. Barnabas in the work of continuing Christian caring, healing, and teaching as we, along with St. Barnabas, bear witness to its founder's reminder, God is able. With the 4th of July occurring within the next few days, there are people in towns and cities having backyard cookouts and picnics. There are neighborhoods where parades and fireworks will be the highlight of the week. The 4th of July commemorates the passage of the Declaration of Independence. But did independence really happen on the 4th? And do those deployed to faraway places working to maintain our independence have the opportunity to commemorate? These are some of the things we'll talk with our guests about today. So with